Hi, everybody. It's Bob Huesler from The Fan. Coming up next, it's Locked Up Sports.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. He's Brett Grasso. This is the Locked Up Sports New York Mets pregame show. Tonight, the Mets go for a sweep in the nation's capital. Kodai Senga, a big pitching performance we need today as they have to keep pace with the Phillies, who were impressive in sweeping the Seattle Mariners. And the pitching for the Nationals is Brett Lord with a record of 3-6. Brett, what's up? Welcome to the show. Big game tonight. I know last night was good, but this is a big one tonight because the Phillies have already won. They've swept the Mariners. They looked impressive. What do you? We lost Brett. He'll be back in a second. Listen, tonight after last night, I know the Mets have looked good. We're gonna get into VIENTOS. We're gonna get into LINDOR. We're gonna get into the whole thing. But the Mets tonight is gonna be a big game. They are now 5.5 games back. They could be 6 games back, or they could be back to 5. Brett, what's up? Welcome back. What happened? What happened there?
Going on?
We fixed all that before we went on.
Well, yeah, we did. And it just, as soon as we came on, I was like, there's a little delay in the music. Nope, not happening.
No. So I was saying, this is listen, I know we played well the last 2 games, the 3 games winning streak of Vientos, Lindor, and everything. Tonight's a big night for Kodai Senga.
Huge night. There's the same thing. Thank God we got, the outing we did out of Peterson. I mean, we know we had a couple rough starts from him, just like we did for everybody in those dog days of August. But it was amazing to see him, come back, give us that, really not much of you can say bad about his performance. And same thing, we need the same thing out of Senga. It shows what a difference a team is when a pitcher can go 6, God forbid 7 or 8. But if you can just really give them that, it changes the whole dynamic of your team and your rotation and your bullpen. And that's what we need to get out of Senga tonight. You're exactly right.
Yeah, and listen, the Mets are playing well. Thank God they're playing well, right? Because if they would continue to lose here, they'd be 9 out. It'd be over. Because the Phillies, I'll tell you what, that was impressive. They blew out Seattle today, 11-2. They beat them big in the 2 games before that. They looked dominant in the sweep. The Mets gotta keep pace. And then you're playing a lesser team in Washington, last place in the division. I think it's it. Now we can get to Alvarez. We'll start with Alvarez because bad news on the Alvarez front. I don't think he's going to be able to play through this. And even if he is, he's not going to be the same, right? I mean, he needs surgery. He's going to be painful. He's going to try and play. He's going to sit 10 days and then try and play through the pain.
Trying to think of who they said was the example that did it. Someone tore it beginning of the year. The biggest thing is, is batting, right? Like, as you want, you got to, if you can't hit at all, like you don't even look like you can function up there, like holding a bat or swinging a bat, then it's a little bit of a different thing. But one guy who did that was Red Sox. I believe it was Dustin Pedroia. In the year that he does it in spring training, he plays the entire year, goes on to win MVP. So, you could say whatever about it, but it comes down to what's the severity of it. Is it because he physically, it changes what he can do with his hand, or is it a pain issue? And
we obviously can't hurt it any worse, right? Because they wouldn't let him play if he would.
No, he's getting surgery either way. So it's not just a you bruised it, because then there wouldn't be surgery. It's a you definitely tore it to some point. It's not fully torn, or else you might not be able to deal with it. I heard Tiki Barber describing it. He had the same issue, and it's one of those where it works, but certain things
Tiki
just don't work.
That. Tiki just used that as an excuse why he was fumbling it every week.
That's even better. See, that's even better. Listen. Alvarez can use it as an excuse for whatever, but the whole point is we want him back, right? If he is the Alvarez that we've seen the last 2 weeks. If we get the I'm a little injured playing how you were in, which we've seen a lot of, that Alvarez we don't need down a stretch run. The problem is you now put a lot of weight on Terrence, and then what's going to be, I guess, Senga again, right?
Yeah. Senga is going to turn out to be a big part of this team. The Mets only have 2 catchers on the roster, on the 40-man roster. So it's Terrence, it's Senga. That's it. Like, they don't have, I guess they have somebody in emergency, I guess McNeil or whoever their emergency catcher is, but they only have 2 on the roster, on the 40-man roster. So, and Senga, who would have known? You know what? That might be a type of thing, like a storyline. Senga comes in, he finally makes it to the big leagues. He has a big hit down the stretch or hits a big home run. Because
No,
if you want to look at the bright,
we need no, but you'd be talking about you're talking about like a big story that he gets one big hit, and like we need a guy in there that can hit. Like the whole like our whole offense was built around VIENTOS coming through, Alvarez having a bounce back year, and it's almost worse that we saw what Alvarez was like.
But
we forgot about it, right? Like
on the bright
and now all of a
side.
sudden,
On the bright side, the Mets have played their best baseball with Alvarez in the minor leagues, basically, and Vientos doing nothing, hurt, and then doing nothing with the bat. They did play their best baseball this year in that situation. So, obviously, you want Alvarez back. It's your better team with Alvarez full strength.
They played their worst baseball with Juan Soto at his best. They played their best baseball with Juan Soto not playing well. So there's this team. The problem we've had with them is consistency. Is that there's no point where everybody's played well on this team. It was pitching played well early.
Yeah,
Lindor and Alonso played well early. Soto played well the next month. A couple of the young guys started playing well when we were playing bad. Same old story over and over, and then everybody falls apart. And they didn't fall apart. Everybody played down to like their low level of when we're having a bad time. The problem is everybody hasn't played well good at the same time, and I thought it was about to happen. I thought Alvarez coming around. I see Vientos coming around. I see Lindor coming around. Soto quietly doing what could be a 40-30 season. And you look over and you have all these things, and you go, if all that stuff happens, you're going to get a once-in-a-while timely Pete Alonso home run. Nimmo and McNeil are going to punch out some good stuff in important spots, even if we don't,
McNeil's quietly been very, very good. He got another big 2-out double last night.
Yeah.
He's been quietly had a real good season.
Big home run, 2-out double. The guys, there's certain guys who get better when the lights go on, and we missed that from McNeil last year. Don't forget a spark that when we played well last year, it was hurt. McNeil's out of the lineup. So McNeil's out of the lineup, we're not playing well. And then we tried to bring back an injured McNeil back into the LA series, and that turned into he wasn't ready to come back and start playing the best of the best. You don't even get real rehab assignments. You're just coming back to play baseball. And so I believe that he's another one that could be a driving force. We always take it as this is who these guys, we're watching them they played at their worst. That's all you remember is what we've just seen. So we've seen everybody play so bad the last, almost 2 months now, right? 2 months of pretty bad baseball.
Basically, if you look at the record since April, they had a great April, and then it was basically, under 500 the rest of the way.
You give them May, but June, from June 1st, it's definitely been a tragic slide. But these guys are capable. It's like again, it comes down to the pitching being able to give them a shot, hold it to within a certain number of runs and give them a certain number of innings. It's this bullpen, which is going to start to do what it's supposed to do. I'm sorry. These guys are pretty good. You saw one guy who's been a question mark and has given up hits and almost a run in every outing is Rogers, which is surprising. And the issue I have with that is he's the guy you bring out every day. He's the guy you can pitch every single day, and they bring him out every day. And if that happens every other day, we're never winning anything.
But now we got over that 6-inning hump, right? You had Peterson last night, who was he was brilliant last night. 10 strikeouts, 8 innings, 4 hits, Beautiful. 1 run, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. It doesn't get better than that. So we really blew through that 6-inning barrier, and Peterson looked like the ace that he did in parts of the earlier the year. Now, I don't know if he truly is an ace. I really don't think he is. But when he is capable of that, I don't know if he could string together 3 or 4 of these. And there were a couple big starts where he didn't pitch well. But when they needed him to pitch well, and I that's why I don't think he's an ace. But he's a lefty. He's good on the mound. When he's on, he's on. But when he's off, he's off. And he's not an ace. But as far as he goes last night, if they can get that, that's important. And now they need Senga, because Senga's got the best stuff on the staff. He may not be an ace, but he's consistently good, and he hasn't been recently. That's why I think it's important tonight that he has a big start. On top of the fact that the Phillies already won.
Well, and you have to prove it. You have to prove that you can do it. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not going to be every night. These guys aren't going to go out and throw 2 hit shutouts for 7 innings and do that every night. But if you can't do that once out of every couple days, that's not going to work for the postseason. We need Senga to come up tonight and not falter in an inning, not walk guys, not try and work around guys like he always does. You got to be aggressive. You got to hit the strike zone. I understand maybe a guy's going to touch you up for a solo home run or a 2-run home run. We will win the ball game 4-2. We cannot have it be where the guy gets a hit, you walk the next 2 batters, and then it's a home run. That is where we've been getting into this massive trouble of compounding your mistakes of getting behind in counts.
They have one big inning where it just all falls apart.
Yes, but it comes from getting behind in counts. It's really just missing the strike zone half the time when you look at it. It's like, and they'll come out and say you have to throw strikes, and it's still not working, and then that works up the pitch count. That makes where you're talking about walks, and then you start talking about little, like, one bad pitch then turns into 3 runs really quick. And that's been their issue lately. It wasn't last year. Last year, they weren't giving up the long ball. But I will say, when they have issues, it's that one error that extends the inning like we've seen. It's that one walk that extends the inning, or a bad call
That's
even by an ump that extends it. But the next, that we know how it goes. Good teams on that next thing, they take advantage of it. And the Mets have seemed to get away with it last year, and this year they seem to be giving up that home run in big spots. And that has to end. If you get rid of that, you keep tight ball games, the bullpen will start holding it down.
Remember 2 years ago when I guess they didn't they made the playoffs 2 years ago when they lost to the Padres, right?
Yeah.
Was that 3 years? Whatever it was. But remember Diaz was giving up big home runs. Like he had a home run issue. Like he was giving up huge game-tying home runs all over the place. And they were able to push through. But this year, it's trouble getting to Diaz, all right? That's why we got Helsley. That's why we got Rogers. That's why we got Soto. And Soto's been the best of the bunch, if you think about it, and that's surprising. But Helsley's got to get it together. Listen, you're pitching the 8th inning now.
Well, let's go by what the last one was. Helsley pitched well in his last outing.
Yeah, but he didn't. He had a little cushion. Him and Rogers both did not pitch great, right? Helsley did Helsley let Rogers let up a run.
Helsley got like a runner on and took care of it. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. Like, so it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's okay. He's not gonna
be perfect.
You know what I mean? That don't matter. Yeah, that's. But it's more about, you got to be aggressive. You got to hit the strike zone. They were missing the strike zone. Like, these guys were, Rogers was getting hit. Helsley's missing the strike zone. And Diaz, when you bring him out for 6 outs, like, you're really holding your breath, because you're lucky enough to get one clean inning out of Diaz. Going for 2 with a break in between, good luck.
But the fact that we even say that shows how little trust you have in closers. Because Diaz right now, it's not good luck, right? He's the best closer. He's like one of the top 3 closers in the game.
No.
It shouldn't be like, good luck, yo.
But you put the burden on him. But you can't. But right now we're scratching out trying to put him out there for the 6 inning save.
He doesn't get enough work. He doesn't get enough work, Brett. He hasn't been in now in a couple days.
But we overwork him, and then and then we overwork him for a day, and then we can't use him for 2 days, and then we bring him in for a situation that's not probably warranted, or it's one where we're tied.
If it's not a safe situation, he can't pitch, which is
and that's what's happened. We keep bringing him in the 9th inning of a tie game to hold it because it's the top of the order.
That's okay. And you look over. It's when you bring him in with a 5-run lead.
Oh, that's even worse. No,
then all of a sudden it's 5-4.
But you're really looking, you go, this rotation, and we know we got the fresh blood in it, and we're going to see what McLean can do in his second outing. There's going to be a much different environment for him. He's going to be going away in Atlanta. I know it's not the same Atlanta team we're used to seeing, but it's still Mets Braves. It's your second start. You have a little bit more expectation now. Maybe he comes out, I don't know, maybe he should be more relaxed and calmer this time. But let me tell you, last time he looked so good. So if he can be, even 70% of what we got last time, give us 5 or 6 quality innings and, give us a shot, we'll take that. But I'm telling you, this rotation's got to step up, man. It's really got to step up.
Yeah,
Senga tonight.
It's not a great rotation to begin with. I mean, Peterson leading the way is kind of, he's not an ace. You don't think of Peterson as an ace. Senga is an ace, but he's consistent, but he hasn't been great this year. Like, he was consistently good, which I'll take from him. But then he's kind of, since he's come back since that injury, he's been 3 innings.
It takes a while. I'm sorry. First of all, they bring these pitchers back.
Too early.
They ramp them up so slow. They ramp them up so slow. They bring them back too early in terms of, they bring them back when they're not ready to pitch 7 innings. Like, you couldn't even if there was an option on his first day. And so it's like, I understand they want to insert them into it, but I actually believe that Senga and Minaya, the next 2-3 starts down the stretch, are going to get stronger. And they should, based on their injuries. Now, Minaya is a question mark based on, how he's feeling and the elbow and the floaters and the bone spurs and all that. But I think Senga, barring a bad Alonso toss, everything. I really think that Senga's going to have, he's going to start stretching it out a little longer. You're going to see a little bit more velocity from him in certain spots, but he's been avoiding batters. He's done this his whole life. He's not a let me pitch the contact guy. He wants to skirt the outsides, and these umps are a little tighter this year, and he hadn't experienced it in the first half. He wasn't around. So he's working now with a little bit of a tighter strike zone. They're not getting that same stuff. He probably doesn't have the same stuff as he had. And you got to pitch to contact, man. I'm sorry. This league, if you walk batters, you will not win baseball.
I don't know. You watched Lindor the last couple of weeks. They whiff it on line draws, soft line drives. He's booting around ground balls. Now, like I say it all the time. I say Lindor's a Hall of Famer. He'll figure it out. But, like, the defense hasn't been great. And you know what they got caught on?
Defense isn't great.
They had the stolen base. They were going for the tied for the record, and they caught, and he got picked off.
That was a killer.
And because he made a move towards second and went back, it was a caught stealing. That's just a little
hated
sidebar.
that.
But let's be real.
I hated that.
I guess I didn't care. You're
no,
big on these
no,
stolen
I
bases because you gamble on it.
No, I was. That was on me. That was one where that pissed me off. But it was when I found out that the record gets broken because of a dumb little, But that's how you catch them. That's why it was more of a shock that they went as far as they did. Is because the way they've been doing it is we're going to do a little hop, step, and run. And yeah, they got the advantage, but you got to pick the guy off. They weren't, it was just shocking they didn't pick guys off a lot sooner. But let me tell you, the Mets stealing bases
because it's easier. That's honestly what's easier. Kept them. The record's got an asterisk anyway.
Much easier. But they're smart. Other teams have not adapted to that. The Yankees aren't stealing bases like that. And you look and you go, this is something that's kind of kept the Mets in it. Like when the little opportunities they've had to score runs, they've gotten a few like that.
They've had some good.
They've very big. So if you look at the plus minus, if you look in the plus minus of them scoring runs based on a stolen base or them saving runs based on throwing out a base, they're got to be at the top of the league. I think they are both.
With all of that said, the biggest, most obvious difference in this team over the last 3 or 4 days has been Mark Vientos, and he's crushing the ball. Is now Vientos back? Did the Mets hit their stride at the right time here? Did they just save their season barely by like a day or two? Because like I said, it would be over if Vientos doesn't hit these home runs. They'd be 8 back. And right now you got Jeff McNeil who's 8 for his last 17, 6 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, and 3 RBIs and a walk in his last 17 at bats. You got Vientos, who is in the last 2 games 3 for 7, 2 home runs, a walk, and he's got a 1.730 OPS. So, those two things right there, along with Lindor getting big hits now coming back, that's the difference right now. It's not really the pitching yesterday.
And Soto, and you look and you go, when these guys heat up, if a couple of these guys heat up at the same time, God forbid, like 3/4 of this lineup heats up at the same time, this team can be dangerous. And that's why when you inserted a hot over 1,000 OPS Alvarez into that scenario, this team's a different team. This lineup's much different. Now, taking that away, I don't care who you insert. You can say Torrens, you can say Senger. Those guys are, Mendoza line hitters. I'll give Torrens, he's had a couple, decent hits with runners in scoring position this year. So I have a little bit of faith. Right. I'll give you that. But we've learned once you give Torrens too many plate appearances or too many innings behind the plate,
you see why
his production dips significantly because these guys get tuned up real quick.
Yeah.
Issue we've seen with Alvarez, injury prone at this point. Say what you will about it.
We got a call here. Hold on 1 second, Brett. Just all right, we're gonna bring in the baseball purist. But continue, Brett. Continue what you're saying. What about Alvarez?
But honestly, Alvarez is something that we were looking at. It's an engine that I really think that he's going to try and come back. I think he's going to try and play through it. And you know what? I think the guy, if you can grip a bat and grip it and rip it, that guy's got a shot. His eye's been good. He's seeing the baseball well. I think that's the first step, and he's found something. If we get Alvarez back and he's playing decent, I'm talking decent, we can get a couple innings out of him. I think that this lineup's about to really flip a switch even further than we're looking at.
I can't believe he's going to come back full strength. Now let's go to Baseball Purist. Baseball Purist, what do you got for us? Welcome to the show. Oh, hold on 1 second. I got to hit one more thing. There you go. You should be good now.
Get a couple innings out of him. I think that. Oh, hello? That's me. I hear. There he is. Oh, he's listening.
Oh, hey, what's up, Bob? What's up, Brett?
What's up?
I'm calling in to say something real quick, man. The team looks great recently, and if you look at the upcoming games, the only tough team coming up is the Phillies. And them losing Wheeler, I think we got a really good chance, guys.
Yeah, but the Phillies look good this week. He had 3 against sweeping
Yeah.
Seattle. Seattle's not a bad team. Seattle's a good team. You know, they got big power hitters.
Seattle lost to the Mets. Seattle lost to the team before. You know, it's they just caught him in the right time, in my opinion. I saw the 3 games before Seattle, and they couldn't hit a lick. The Phillies. So I think
right though. They need to take care of Washington. They need to take care of Atlanta.
And also,
go ahead.
They're coming to Citi Field. It's a house of horrors for them. Many years. They can't win.
You're right. Especially, but now they're looking for revenge after last year. You know, they felt like they should have won last year. They got revenge. They haven't played the Mets much, right? What did they have? 1 series against the Mets, I think, the Phillies so far. The Mets didn't play the NL East until this month, basically, right? I feel like we haven't seen any of these teams. Now we got Atlanta, and the Mets are always struggling against Atlanta. Let's be real, right? Like whether the Atlanta could be a terrible team, they're gonna play well against the Mets.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's really tough. I think they got our number, but you know, we didn't think we were gonna win that last 2 games at the end of the season. You know, there's a chance that the Mets will come in,
we did it.
take all 3 games, and you know, and then meet the Phillies, and we're gonna have I think we're gonna have a really, really good series coming up.
It's going to be a huge series. Huge series. They got to keep it within. Like I was saying to Brett earlier, the Mets could be out of it right now if Vientos and Lindor don't come through these last couple of days. They don't get the big pitching performance from Peterson last night. They could be 8 or 9 out, and it would be over already. You're not coming back from 8 or 9. Do you think the Alvarez injury is going to have? Because I don't think Alvarez is. I think if he comes back, he's going to be 50%. He's going to play a couple games, probably go back out. So let's assume we're without Alvarez. Do you think that hurts? Do you think that's a crucial miss, like a loss going into the division, the division race down the stretch?
Yes, I think it's going to hurt. But here's the good thing. Vientos getting hot. Beatty's getting hot. And if they stay hot, they could take over with Alvarez production. And we know Torrens is a lot better catcher than Alvarez. I mean, even when Alvarez came back from the AAA, he still had a lot of pass balls.
Yeah, you're right. He wasn't playing great defensively, but he wasn't hitting good for a lot of the time either. And then he's kind of found his stroke though the last couple of days. Well, the last week or so.
You know what it was? He found his eye. He found his eye at the plate. He's able to finally recognize he's taking pitches. He took some more walks. And once that happens and they have to pitch to you a little more, it makes it a lot easier when the balls are coming inside the zone than it is when you're chasing stuff that isn't even touching. It's touching dirt before it ever sees your bat.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Baseball Pierce, listen, send me an email at LockedUpSports, LockedUpSportsShow@gmail.com, and we're going to send you a shirt. Send me your information, all right?
Okay, we'll do.
All right. Thank you. Thank
you. Thank you.
All right,
listen,
bye, guys.
All right, man. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Let's not let the Baseball Pierce be the only caller, right? Come on, people, get in on this. Now, I didn't put the thing up today because we were just going to do a couple of minutes, but good job for Baseball Pierce hopping on it. And I guess I guess it doesn't change, Brett, the QR code every day. I've been sitting here changing it every day, putting the new graphic on the screen. But anyway,
that was good.
So final thoughts on tonight's game, Brett. What do you got? What do you think?
I mean, did you put up the lineup yet? Do we have the lineup up?
No, I have.
We have it.
I'm sorry, my fault. That's my fault.
I don't even think we went through the lineup.
No, we didn't go through the lineup. No, we don't have last thoughts yet.
I did look at it before, but off the top of my head, I can't even. I know we got Vientos in. It's DH, right?
Yeah, you got Lindor leadoff, Soto hitting second, which is a new twist, right?
Interesting.
Nimmo in the third hole. Yeah. Alonso cleanup, obviously. McNeil at second. I think McNeil at second every day is helping him out. I really do. I think the stability of him knowing where he's going to play. And
I told you this. I'm very big, proponent of them knowing where they're going to be, not even having to look at the lineup every day, like just going in and being like, I know when a righty's pitching, this is where I am. When a lefty's pitching, this is where I am. Love it. Good for McNeil. And then you got
McNeil. Like I said, the DH is Vientos. You know what? I would plug Vientos at DH every day. Just plug him in every day. If he's struggling for a week or something, we know what he can do, right? You know he's a good ball player. He's done it in this pressure situation before. Plug him in there every day for a month and see what happens. Beatty at third. Beatty's hitting a little bit better too. Beatty is he's reached base in 7 straight games. He's got a 423 OBP, and in that span is he's batting 344 with going 11 for 32. So Beatty's been playing better as well.
He's tough at third, man. He's been Olays every ball. He Olays every ball, and he's made a couple good ones, and they clap after. It is so painful to watch. When last night he olays the ball and it pops in the air, he makes the bare hand catch and throws the guy out, and looks great, right? They replay it, and the guy just like takes it on the side, and I'm like, get in front of a ball.
Mullins hitting eighth. I'd almost rather, at this point, I'm ready to put Taylor back in. Mullins is just, he's nothing. He's come over here and he's just struggled. He's struggled and he's struggled and he can't really do much. He gets a hit here or there. Mullins, I'm not impressed with the Mullins trade.
You're a Taylor guy, but Taylor.
Yeah, because I'm a defensive center field, Brett. I was a defensive center fielder. That's why I'm a Taylor guy.
And so was Mullins, and he hit. The problem is, it's not enough grade.
But Taylor's better. Taylor's better.
Right. It is not
better.
better.
Me in there. No, Mullins is nothing.
They say Mullins gets the ball. No, there's only knock on Mullins. He doesn't have the greatest jump on the ball, or he doesn't see it as quick as other guys.
That's it.
But
that's the whole thing, Brett. That's the whole thing on a
no,
fly
it's
ball.
not.
That's the whole thing.
He catches up to ball. He is so much quicker, and it is not. He gets to the ball still.
And then Terrence in the 9-hole. Get used to it, folks. Because I think you count Alvarez out. Anything you give Alvarez going forward. It is just going to be a plus because he's hurt this thumb now. Like, how many times? And what are you doing sliding head first? If you're the catcher like that, don't slide head first. Nobody slide head first. Like, why do they slide it? It's the same thing with your dumb, stupid thing jumping over the finish line on a sprint, which the guy did.
It was freaking, and it would have never happened if who was it? Julio Rodriguez catches that ball. He just lets it drop in the gap.
Just don't slide into any base. There's no need to. You don't get there quicker, I don't think.
You can't stop the aggression in these guys. Good luck. Good luck being like, don't do something.
They should have something where he can put the mid on while he's running. Like he reaches in real quick and it just comes out and his gloves in it.
How did they not? I was thinking like, how is catchers, because they really beat their fingers up like a ton. Like, how do they not have... But how do they not have like Kevlar gloves on that? It's not like you need to throw with that hand. Like, you could... How do they not have better technology on these? These guys are getting beat up all the time, like with that stuff.
You know what? You know what I didn't like? You're right. You're right about that. Yeah, you're right, because they get their ass kicked back there. But the gloves,
have been the
same for 100 years.
Get better, lighter equipment. I'm sorry, there's better, lighter equipment that make it where you don't get killed out there.
But can we at least, when he gets the better, lighter equipment, can we make it not the color of the team that they were playing? I mean, come on,
it's so rough.
It's the same. Who drops the ball on that? Alvarez says I want
especially
teal. You play the Mariners, you can't have teal.
Well, Players Weekend, it's a little different.
I will give you.
It was
a weekend.
No, but that's whatever. But the other weekends they have this stuff that's so far off too, and they're all wearing totally off colors. And they're all wearing
yellow
like
out there. Come on, like they just wear a blue and orange, a thing with a Mets painted on it, like a goalie helmet. Like it just doesn't look right. I'm like,
step in eventually.
I'm like, did we get Kyle Raleigh? Did we get him? He's behind the plate. So, but either way, he didn't get it. He lost to the Phillies this weekend. So the Mets are now officially 6 back of the Phillies, right? They try to make it back to 5. Or will they go to 5.5? I just saw this on the thing that we had up there was 6. Why are they 6? Weren't they 5? Shouldn't it be 5.5? They were 5.5. All right.
They were 5.5, I believe. Yeah, and they maintained it. Not good, man. Like, let me tell you, that 5.5 starts looking really daunting.
Yeah, 5.5's a lot.
By the time we leave Philly, by the time Philly leaves Queens, whatever day that is on games. Wednesday, that's where you're gonna know. And if we aren't down to 4 flat by the time Philly's like getting ready to leave or be in town, we're in trouble. We can't be at 5 or 6.
Right, you worrying about the Jets losing 31-12 to the Giants? You worried about the quarterback?
No,
Daniel Jones is starting again.
We're gonna have we're gonna run the ball so much. We're gonna have the best running offense on a losing team you've ever seen. Like, nobody's gonna run better than us.
The Mets lose.
We're gonna lose every game.
Talking about football. Mets lose 2 out of 3 this weekend, and then that's it. Pretty much.
Our magic number for Arch Manning is 17.
Yeah, but you got good in the year. You got decent now in a year where there's going to be a Manning on the board. But either way, we'll get to that. That's 2 weeks away. That's 2 weeks. It's coming, Brad. It's coming. I got the U.S. Open this week.
I love the US.
We're going to have Frank on. We got to get Frank on.
U.S. Open's coming up.
Yeah, I love the U.S. Open. I'm going to the
We got to get more about. We got Ryder Cup coming up.
I can't get involved in the Ryder Cup. I can't.
It's
I'm not
at
into it.
Bethpage. It's around the corner.
I get it, but that's another thing. I went to the U.S. Open
Country stuff?
at Bethpage.
Oh,
I
that's
hated it. Hated
different.
it.
That's different.
That was the gift I gave all you guys for being in my bridal party, and I hated it. I hated the guy because you can't watch the tournament. I'm not watching a tournament. I'm watching one guy or one hole. I hated going to the golf.
I guess. Ryder Cup's a little different, Bob. You're talking about countries like it's gonna be crazy. You can't even get in. You know what what the prices are for those tickets?
I wouldn't pay $50.
No, me neither. No, they're paying like $1,000 to get on the grounds to go sit in on the grass.
And I know there are going to be tickets thrown at me. McGordy, all of our friends are going to be wanting.
But right now, tomorrow, if you wanted to play golf on the black course with all the stands up, you can go sit in line tomorrow morning and wait, and you can go play the course with everything set up. That's kind of cool. I think that's a decent setup.
I guess. You know what I would go to?
God, you don't care.
I go to the one in Arizona. Where they go crazy.
The TPC Sawgrass. Yeah. You're talking about the Waste Management Open.
And they're throwing beers.
The Waste Management Open. That's golf.
That's
where you want to go. That does look like fun. But then you spend the whole day in the sun just waiting for a hole in one to throw beer.
I spent the whole day in the sun. Yeah, that's not going to come. I spent the whole day in the sun at the U.S. Open.
No, it's not happening.
I didn't even see the tournament. So that's going to do it for us. Big one tonight for the Mets. Got to keep pace. Can't go 6.5 back break. You can't. Tonight is a huge game. Kodai Senga on the mound. We need him to go in some distance, and we're going to need the bullpen. And I think Diaz is going to pitch tonight. Even if it's close in the ninth, because the Mets or the eighth, the Mets have to win this game. You can't go 7.5. You got to complete the sweep. It's a tough one too, because you usually it's tough to sweep teams, right? Even the bad teams.
Another big game from Vientos or what?
I think Vientos. I think I would take I would also take a McNeil double and an Alonso home run. That's what I would bet. That's my bet of the game. A McNeil double, parlay it. Because I'm hot. I picked the correct score on the Sunday night game. Won me like $300. So that was a good one.
That was nice.
I picked. Listen, we haven't talked about that yet.
No, I was because
I had no reason why you said I hope
you didn't. Why? No, because if you lost, I won 200. I needed one run for 200.
Okay.
So I care less. After eventually there was a point where I couldn't win my bet, but you could lose yours. So there was eventually where we almost both
were runners on third, both at the end of both the innings.
We almost both lost. We almost both lost that one. But I got the Vientos home run that night, so I'm the one. I was ready to get in on Vientos coming back that day.
All right,
so
Mets
I scored.
And Nationals from the nation's capital, SNY 880 Odyssey, Mets Radio Network. Enjoy it, everybody. We'll talk to you later from the Brian Gunzel Studios. I'm Bob Walters. See ya.